Welcome to Kailanman City. This is my first city on the City Skylines remastered. Population 68,000, but we've already unlocked the 70,000 megalopolis achievement. This is the first part of the city where I first established everything. The Kalasag district, which is basically a shield shape city. Got the Maganda Recreation Park here, kind of overlooking the whole center of the town. And we had our first start with the farming industry, which eventually moved over into the Intramuros district over here. We got a nice flood wall here. And yeah, this is first area, Puso Valley Farms, and have a train line coming through. The Bundok Heights. Bundok means mountain, so if you couldn't guess, this whole city is kind of an homage to my Filipino heritage. And here's a prison district, satellite for the mountains. And then we go into the forestry district, the Matibay sawmill. Matibay means strong. And we have our forestry industry. And then along Bundo Heights, we have a large suburban development of single-family homes. Eventually, we moved the service areas over here, and so we've got the recycling and the firefighters, and a cargo train hub over here just to move stuff around. And when we cross over, we head into the main island, which eventually we started expanding and developing more dense population. Barangay 13, which means neighborhood 13, and looks like they're in the middle of a soccer game over here inside the stadium here. So when the stat's over, we're going to expect huge traffic jam to cause. And if you look over here, we have the disaster memorial that was built in remembrance of the great disaster, huge tsunami that struck. And we had about population 55,000 and dropped down to about 30,000 after all was said and done with all the buildings being destroyed. About 2,700 lives lost. And then you go into the Santo Niño district and move over into the this newly this Vice Bay area with a little castle here and some nice marinas along the Chocolate Bay and the Vice Bay. And you move coastal, we've got Chocolate Hills here with the Chocolate Hills Liberal Arts College, and right next to it we have the Santo Tomas Trade School. And we can go more into the center of the main area, the Poblacion district. We've got a lot of high-rise and dense population here. Nice growing IT tech industry. Rush Araw, which means rush Araw day, hour. Yeah. Chocolate Hills National Park with an observatory overlooking the main area. We've got the newly established University Square, along with the Chestnut Land. I still have to rename that. That's the currently working on building and finishing the amusement park, the Buko Refinery District, which is our oil district, Bandan Square, Chocolate Beach, and Chocolate Bay. Let's go ahead and let's go over more to the coastal. This is more newly developed. This area got hit really hard with a tsunami and lost most of the population, unfortunately. I had a lot of nice buildings that were marked historical buildings, and I kind of just let the development just kind of take over and do whatever it needed to do at this point. So you can see some really wonky assets that develop over here. There's one thing I don't like about vanilla is that you can't really control what buildings come in once you zone it, especially with the certain specific district settings. My favorite is the sustainable housing and the green commercial stuff. The sustainable housing, this style. A lot of the assets are quite uniform, but uniform enough to not cause this strange, weird looking thing where you start to see a lot of the same buildings repeating. And still waiting for this to finish. It looks like the football game is done, so let's go take a look at the traffic jam that got caused by all that. Look at all the people leaving. Quite the sight, quite the sight. Alright, this is the sustainable housing zoning that I'm talking about. I really like the way these buildings end up looking, especially once they've fully leveled up. I also like university buildings, but unfortunately, when they max out, they don't stay university buildings for a long time. So, Hotel Circle is our huge transit hub here. We've got the monorail and the bus lines that meet up and all kind of converge here, along with a huge train station that accepts intercity traffic, as well as has traffic loops and goes to different areas around the city. And this is the Hotel Circle district. And along here, you can go to Hotel Bay, where you'll see a very nice tourism and leisure district set up here, commercial zone. Quite proud of the way this came out, and I actually took my time terraforming and using the water trick where you have to use a freshwater outlet, and then you can build quay walls all along here, and it just gives it such a nice looking vibe. We've got the harbor here for tourists to come from the city via sea. And look at that nice little city over here, along with a cargo transit hub here. This is for the train and cargo harbor ships to come in. And you can see here, this is got a toll booth. This is the main pathway into the city. It's fun setting up taxis or following taxis go back and forth along here, picking people up and taking them out along the city and checking out different things. Once you cross over this main bridge, and you can see here there's also a transit hub with the trains coming by, we can go into the airport district now, which is over on the alongside of Kalasag. And we've got this little entertainment area along with hotels and a Aviation museum here for people to visit. And then you move along, and you can see this is the huge international airport that takes on a lot of people, a lot of passengers, and a lot of cargo. The cargo hub, cargo airport is quite busy. It's a lot busier than the passenger airport, as you can see. There's really not much happening over here for we do have a passenger train coming over here. Oh, okay, that was weird. That's not how airplane runways should work. Let's see where this is going. Is this one gonna... Oh, okay. Anyway, there's a lot of clipping in this weird game. We move over. We've got some shelters set up now just to prepare for disaster preparedness, and we've got a lot of factories, disaster response unit there to respond to any destroyed buildings. But we've got a huge supply chain of factories and industries to help build stuff around. There's that crazy spaghetti interchange. That was part of the map. I didn't build that part, but expanded upon it and decided, the airport is probably the best place to kind of have this hook around. We move over here to this district is called Ilog, which means river. And there's a huge fishing, there's a small little fishing district set up over here, along with a cute little fish market. People come to chill and buy their fish and relax, and people live and work here. And then the last area of this land we cross, and this is actually quite the trek. They have to drive all the way across the map, maybe 2 tiles, 3 tiles over, to the newly established ore district, and this area is called Aklan. Actually, Aklan is a peninsula area which people go to fly to so that they can take a boat over to Boracay Island, which is this nice little vacation spot. That's in the Philippines. But this area turned out a lot bigger than I thought it would. Maybe has about 10,000 people living here. And again, another huge economic center with ore industry and a lot of ore-based factories, including a petrochemical, so that also takes petroleum, and car factories, and then here's a disaster response unit. Trying to think of there's a car factory, modular houses. I mean, this turned out to be a lot more vital and lucrative part of the city. And I don't think I showed the oil industry, so let's go over to the oil industry. Yeah, there's a harbor here too as well. Not a cargo harbor, just a regular harbor, not a cargo transit hub with a train, just accepting ship traffic. But then there's a cargo station here. And the oil industry's here, right close to the amusement park area. And is still working on this university, going to finish that up and get that maxed out. But this got a huge sports facilities. We've got the track and field, the aquatic center, the football stadium, baseball field, lots of traffic, and just a lot of these interesting roads that kind of all converge. And then we've got this nice little viewpoint of this pyramid right here, kind of overlooking everything. Space tower. And yeah, if you kind of try to look at the city as a whole, there's a lot of roads everywhere, farms, huge population. We're about to approach 70,000 again, 86% traffic flow. The value is okay, still generates a lot of money. 12% unemployment, still pretty high. 4% crime rate. You know, about 5,000 people riding this train. Fairly low noise pollution, fairly low ground pollution. Still a lot of resources there. I don't know if I'm gonna unlock if I'm gonna set the 25 tile unlock yet, but I just appreciate being able to play this on PS5 with the remastered, waiting for the other DLCs to come out, because that would be really cool. Eventually one day, we'll see. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the tour of the city, and check out a little fast forward time lapse, rewind time lapse, or fast forward now. If I had to think of just some of these views like that right there, just really looks really nice and cool. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed.